I think,
I think
Yeah,
celebrity or not, it's real suspect having 3 kids by 3 different men.
It's the
listen,
same with men. The
dang.
same with men having three
um,
different kids with 3 different women.
but look, unfortunately, all she's kind of doing is perpetuating like the feminist idea that women can do it on their own, right? Like she, like y'all said, she's pretty savvy with business. She's attractive. You know, clearly she can find another partner at will. So that's kind of the consequence of the environment that we live in, where women could do it on their own. And so people are wondering why the guy would leave or why he would keep creating baby mothers, because he can, because he knows that there are women who will gladly take a child and raise that child all on their own, and they'll put in all the effort, and they'll do everything necessary, and even fight to raise the kid on their own. So it's really all about stimulus and response, supply and demand, all of those things. It's basic economics. If women are shouting at the mountaintops that they can do it by themselves, and then they're demonstrating that they can do it by themselves, then a lot of the men are just gonna be like, cool, let her do it by herself. I could focus on football. I could focus on basketball. I could go get chase down another girl and give her a baby too, because guess what? Don't matter how many babies I can create, these chicks can handle it. She already got two. What's one more? So I think that that's the environment that's being created now. Unfortunately for her, actually, not unfortunately for her, but what I found was ironic is when she was asked, you know, how does this affect her daughter or what she's teaching her daughter, you know, she was kind of defensive about that and saying people should worry about what they're teaching their daughters. But then she slipped up and gave a little bit of insight. And if you notice, the insight she gave was that her daughter doesn't want kids. Now, I don't know how old her daughter is, but to me, that's a direct reflection of what her daughter is seeing. Well, her daughter is seeing that there's a lot of confusion that happens with getting with somebody and having children. So what she's saying is, you know what? I'm just going to opt out of having children entirely. So regardless of how she wants to look at it, it obviously does have an impact on the next generation. So I mean,
Absolutely.
I think there should be something done about it. It's just that unfortunately her success is unfortunately sending the wrong message. You know, the fact that she can do it and post these pictures with her smiling children and cute outfits and all in designer, and the fact that she can, you know, show her pictures of her success and her lifestyle, people are going to be like, oh, well, look at her. She got 3 kids, all 3 different dads, and she is killing it. So I could have 3, 4, 5 baby daddies. It don't matter, because I could crush it too as an independent woman. You know, I can do both, and I don't have to listen to any man or submit at all in order to get what I want. So I think that's kind of the message being sent, and it's also sending the men the message that they don't really got to be responsible as long as they could pay that child support. And I don't know if people realize, but that's what a lot of guys' mentality is. Their mentality is, well, the child support's another bill. I'll just pay the child support. How much is it? $5 grand a month? Cool, I'll pay it. As long as I can pay the child support, I can keep making kids. So if I'm making $100 grand a month and the child support's only $5 grand a month, I could afford like 10. So fuck it. Why not? I'm gonna get her. She's bad. I'm gonna put a baby in her. She's bad. I'm gonna get. She's bad. I'm gonna put a baby in her. And I'm gonna just run around with these cute babies, and I'm gonna have a collection under my belt of all the baddies. And that's the mentality of this young generation. That's what building is for them. She's talking about building, but the building to them isn't really like a marriage. The building is getting a bag and having a baby. So that's what they did. They got a bag, they took some pictures, they had a baby, move on to the next person to build with. Get a bag, have a baby, and build again with somebody else, you know, but they're not building nothing permanent. And I land
But
there.
both parties are making that choice too. So we can't really
Right.
blame one
Well,
or
yeah,
the other.
I'm not blaming the guys or girls. I'm just saying that the environment in general is creating guys who don't see the need for the responsibility. And it's creating a lot of women who are saying, look, I could do this myself. I don't need him. So it's hard to incentivize people to get married and stick together and only have one um, partner that they're having children with when we have an environment that encourages the opposite.
Or she's just making the decision to not try to stick it out with one person. She's just keeping it moving.
But I think it's interesting we talked about her doing it by herself because yes, they may not physically. Who's to say they are
True.
physically in the house or not? You know, or physically around their
That's
children.
true.
But let's be honest. Like I didn't know. And Joey, let me say this is a phenomenal dancer. So I don't mean no shade when I say this, but like, because how can we say she's doing it by herself? First of all, only reason we really knew about Joey to begin with because she is a man's baby mother. So you know what I'm saying? She's riding off these checks. So that's totally not really doing it by herself. I can't agree that it's like perpetuating the idea that women can do it by themselves. But I do think though, like I saw a tweet today, and I guess the platform is now known as X or whatever, that it said the most dangerous thing to society right now is unintelligent women. And I think that is something serious, that we don't even think about or investigate. And I think women as a whole might be tired. We don't want to have to physically fight, mentally fight with our men to see things in a new light. And it's almost like what we have to do sometimes is in silence and move a certain way. So I'll table that. But I did want to put that out there about that danger to society being women.
I do want to
And I
ask a
just want to
question.
clear it up. I'm not blaming her. It's just I'm big on holding my gender accountable because I know when I'm surrounded by women that's healed and looking to, just a certain type of woman, I tend to hold women accountable more than men because it's like, if we don't start cleaning it up now, like she said, I'm a big believer in that. They already did it with the men and the hip hop, and now they're doing it to the women in society. So when we start doing what they're doing too, it's like, dang, who was left to our society at that point?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask the lady something real quick?
I don't think the thing about it, that's part of the problem. We got to blame. There's got to be some type of blame. We can't not blame. I know she's a beautiful woman, but she holds some blame in this situation. Look, at the end of the day, this man's going to eventually stop getting them checks. That's what I was saying before. Them NFL checks are not going to continue the rest of his life. They're not. They're not going to be as big as they are when he was in his first two contracts. So when them checks start to get smaller, then what? He going to look like them other dudes who crying about laid on down. Hey, I need to lower my child support payment because I can't afford it no more because I'm not making that type of money like I used to. You got a lot of former players talking like that. You hear them speaking like that. Yeah, I need to lower my child support because my money ain't coming in like they used to. So I need to make some adjustments. Yeah, they not looking at the long game. That's the part of the problem. They're not looking at the long game. And her, like you mentioned, her own daughter said, I don't even want kids. Why? Because she knows her mother's a hoe. She knows that her mother ain't shit. She realized that. She's saying it without saying it to her goddamn mother. My mom was a goddamn hoe, and I don't want to be a hoe like her, having all these goddamn kids with all these different dudes. She has no idea what a stable family or marriage look like. She said, oh, well, I was in what she considered a long-term relationship was probably a 2-year relationship. And then she's on to the next man, and the next man, and the next man. That's what her daughter's seeing. And so she thinking that's the norm. That's what it's supposed to be. Hell no. Why would you want to teach your daughter that? So now the cycle's going to continue. She going to turn around and be a baby mama. And then her daughter's going to be a baby mama. Why? Because she seen her mother do it and knowing her grandmother did it. That's trash. So yeah, there's going to be some blame somewhere. Now him, as a man, he ought to be ashamed of himself. Why would you want to put yourself all over the world like that? And you can't always be in your kids' life. First of all, you play NFL schedule. You're not going to be available anyway during a certain part of the season. And now you got these kids, they can live across the country. They all the way in the West Coast. You all the way in Dallas living somewhere. So how are you going to get to see your kids on a regular basis? You're not. Unless you're in a relationship with this woman and you're living with these women and all you got custody of his kids, and more than likely you probably don't. He just out there putting it out there just anywhere. So he's not even being responsible. And that's the sad part about it.